Guys, we came to the Trump rally and this is the aftermath.
This isn't normal. Apparently the buses are no longer coming, or at least there used to be like 20 buses when we were being brought here.
So I don't know how long do we have to wait here before we can get to the bus and go back to our car. We waited like 7 hours to just get in the rally, and now it's time to go back. So hopefully we don't have to wait for that long to get in the bus.
If you're looking for the perfect allegory for the Trump sequel, The Fascist Strikes Back, look no further than his rally in California over the weekend, where the former president left thousands of his supporters stranded after dark when the buses that drove them 5 miles into the desert just never came back to pick them up.
Mawa. Make America wait again. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Coachella. And I'm talking about Donald Trump, who flew in to Coachella, used his own people as a prop for a photo op, and then he abandoned them. You don't believe me? Watch this.
This isn't normal. Apparently the buses are no longer coming. It's just chaos.
The dire situation came to light through a series of videos shared on social media, mostly across TikTok, depicting a chaotic scene as a massive crowd wandered through the desert in the middle of the night after being forced to listen to the likes of this in 100-degree heat all day. I mean, talk about torture.
I will very quickly deflate. We are going to take inflation and we are going to deflate it. We are going to deflate inflation. We are going to defeat inflation. We're going to not.
And as a result, many critics have accused the serial grifter of providing only one-way transportation to the rally, leaving his supporters, of course, high and dry. Reports from the scene indicated that there were initially 20 to 30 buses available. However, only one remained in operation after dark, resulting in a turnaround time for each drop-off of around 30 minutes.
I invite the public to watch his rallies and be the decision maker.
I just passed out.
A few moments later.
Look at this.
There's chicks that are organizing this that are barely
Look at all of us.
If you could just, yeah, we're gonna walk with you.
There's supposed to be like 20 buses here, and there's only one. Everyone's starting to freak out. And there's people that go down this street for I don't know how long.
But of course, rather than, I don't know, take a look at the character of the man that they're swearing allegiance to, the type to stiff anyone at any time if it benefits him, some of those who are left stranded, dehydrated and desperate still clutched their MAGA hats tight to their chest as they claimed it smelt like sabotage. Honestly, there really is no saving some of these people. Even as their cult leader shows just how little of a shit he gives about them, they'll still bend themselves into a pretzel cooking up conspiracy theories about how actually it's the evil Marxist Democrats who are responsible for Trump not getting his fans transportation back to their cars, rather than it being, you know, his fault.
Trump said the election was going to be stolen before it happened, and then on election night, he prematurely declared victory when the votes weren't even counted. He then took 60 different court cases, lost every single court case. Then Bill Barr, Mike Pence, Ivanka Trump all said there's no election fraud. So who do you trust more than our courts, our institutions? Rudy Giuliani? What's your source of election fraud is my question.
I saw actual data that night. I watched that election for 12 straight hours.
Why did the courts reject that data?
Because I think that some of the courts are false as well.
But they were Trump-appointed judges. So Trump-appointed fake judges, or what?
You got to look at all the data.
We've looked at all the data. All the data says the election was legitimate.
So it's your word against mine. It's whatever you want to believe.
Wait, can I say? Wait, no. Can I say real quick? It's my.
We live in the United States. everybody has their own opinion.
Yeah.
That's what it's
That's
about.
beautiful. What can I say? You say it's your word against mine, but it's my word, our court's words, the FBI, the DOJ, Bill Barr, Mike Pence versus you, Trump, and Rudy Giuliani, and Mike Lindell. So do you think Rudy Giuliani...
A lot more people than
Do you think Rudy Giuliani is...
the DOJ, the FBI, in my opinion, are corrupt.
But Bill Barr...
Whatever they're telling
Who
you.
appointed Bill Barr, though? Trump appointed all these
And then
people.
he fired them. He fired people.
So he's hires the best people, but he hires them and then fires them immediately, right?
Good. Because he found out the
People
truth about
deserve
them.
to get fired. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be placed in a position because of what you know or who you know. You should be placed in a position because you qualify
So
for
you
that.
have no evidence that the election was stolen beyond feelings.
Oh, no.
I actually expect the guy who didn't care if his vice president was hanged on the Capitol lawn, care about them being stranded after a rally that, like many of his in extreme heat, had countless reports of heat exhaustion after his supporters were forced to endure sweltering temperatures for hours as they waited for him to weave his way onto the stage. And as par for the course, the speech itself reflected a pattern of incoherence for Trump, marked by a troubling tendency to ramble and contradict himself.
And that sun is hot. I'll tell you. Should I or should I not put on the hat, the famous hat?
Something went wrong.
So he flies in, he stands there, he gets his photo op done, okay, and then he gets in his car, his private car, and his private plane, and he leaves. Meantime, hundreds of people are stuck with no buses and no way to get back to their own cars. Now, usually people say, about elected officials, I don't necessarily agree with you ideologically, but as long as you make the trains run on time and you get the snow plowed or whatever it is, right, then fine, I will vote for you. Think about this. If Donald Trump abandons the very people who supports him and he can't even make the buses run on time, is this the person who should be in charge of our government and you?
But on another note, when he's not losing his train of thought, he's blatantly threatening to seek revenge on those who disagree with him. During an interview over the weekend with Maria Bartiromo, his comments were actually so extreme that it even took her by surprise.
Well, you're talking about nuclear facilities now with regard to Israel. And, you said that you think that Israel should, in fact, hit Iran's nuclear facilities. Isn't this dangerous to be talking about impacting
you don't want
nuclear facilities?
You can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
Let's remember, you've got 50,000 Chinese nationals in this country in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You have people on the terrorist watch list, 350 in the last couple of years. You got, like you said, 13,000 murderers and 15,000 rapists.
Right.
What are you expecting? Joe Biden said he doesn't think it's going to be a peaceful election day.
Well, he doesn't have any idea what's happening in all fairness. He spends most of his day sleeping. I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within, not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. By the way, totally destroying our country. The towns, the villages, they're being inundated. But I don't think they're the problem in terms of election day. I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
He crossed a line that I have to tell you, in my lifetime, I would have never imagined, because we know our history. Donald Trump over the weekend was talking about using the U.S. Army against people who disagree with him. Just so you're clear about that, that's you. That's what he's talking about. This is not some mythical thing out there. He called it the enemy within. And to Donald Trump, anybody who doesn't agree with him is the enemy. I tell you that not to make you fearful or anything. I tell you that because we need to whip his butt and put this guy behind us.
And this is how much Trump cares about the country, right? He wants to use the military on his opponents, revoke the license of any network who dares disagree with him.
So they're asking, but think of this. So CBS gets a license, and the license is based on honesty. I think they have to take their license away.
And leaves even his most staunch cult followers stranded in the desert. I mean, he is and always has been Trump first, Trump last, Trump always.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.